We are glad to welcome you to another video that will help you to understand in detail all the sections of the patient record, their features and capabilities. To do this, we will go to the appropriate tab, select the profile of the patient we need, and click View Patient Record. Here we can see the patient's personal data and the sections that make up the actual record. Let's talk about them in order. The first section that you get to is the treatment plan. It also includes the current status of the patient's jaw, which we will discuss in a moment. By clicking on the chart, you can see the current status of the jaw with a detailed description of defects and changes made. In order to make new changes to the current jaw status, you need to click the appropriate button and sign in, after which you will enter the edit mode. To change the status of any object, you need to pre-select this object on the jaw chart and assign it a status, diagnosis, or add a prosthetic from the list on the right. Let's take pulpitis, for example. If your patient is a child, you can also display their jaw visually. To do this, choose Select All Objects and click on Baby in the Dental Status section, after which the chart will only display deciduous teeth. If you have mistakenly made changes to the jaw status that you need to undo, just click on the back arrow as many times as necessary to return to the desired state. Let's try to create the current jaw status of a patient using my jaw as an example. I am missing all my 8s. I recently had them removed. Next, let's mark the places where I have implants with ceramic crowns. I have a metal ceramic crown on my 16th tooth. I have veneers on all of my front teeth. I also have cavities on the masticatory surface of my 27th tooth, and there is one tooth I need to have treated. Once you have made any changes to the patient's current jaw status, save them and the jaw chart will update. All of the patient's previous jaw statuses are stored in the patient's chart until they are deleted. If necessary, you can print the jaw chart with a detailed description of the jaw. There is also an option to email it to the patient. Next, let's review an existing treatment plan and then try to create a new one. To view the treatment plan, click on the down arrow. Here we can see that the plan is divided into stages, which contain a certain number of procedures. By clicking on a procedure, you can mark it as already performed or scheduled for next time. At the bottom of the plan, you can see the total cost of the plan, the cost of the jobs performed, and the cost of the procedures scheduled. When all scheduled services are completed, the treatment plan will have the status of completed. Let's create a new treatment plan. To do this, click Add Treatment Plan at the top of the page, sign in, and give a short name to this plan. Next, click Add a New Stage, give it a name, select the desired object, and assign a procedure or several procedures to it from the list on the right. The management system has 5 options available for dental grids, including a pediatric grid. You can assign procedures to an individual object, segment, quadrant, as well as plan general services without tying them to a specific location. Treatment plans save all the changes made, so once the plan is complete, you can simply shut it down. And now, let's go to the appointment registration sections. The first of these is appropriately named Appointment History. This is where all completed appointments are recorded. The second section is Research. This is where X-ray and CT examinations are registered. These sections common functionality, that's why I'll introduce them to you using the example of Appointment History. Going to this section of the patient's record, we can see that this section contains an archive of all their appointments. Each of them shows the services rendered, the appointment protocols, and the specialists who were involved in the appointment. At the top of the page, there is a button that allows us to create a new appointment. Click it, sign in, specify all the specialists involved in the appointment, the office number, and enter a brief description. On the left, in the appointment window, we see one of the several options of the dental grid and the field for adding the service below. The service can be assigned to a single object or segment, or it may not be tied to a specific location. After specifying all the procedures that have been performed, we move to the right side of the window. Here at the top, the appointment cost is formed according to the pre-approved prices for services. If necessary, you can add an image of the patient's teeth and any kind of PDF files to the appointment. The registration of the appointment is completed by filling in the treatment protocol. To do this, you can use the text field in the appointment window or open a special window by clicking on Treatment Protocol, which will allow you to fill out the form with ease. For convenience and to save time, you can use pre-created templates which can be added to the protocol with a couple of clicks. Templates can be generated in advance in the Workplace Management tab in the Procedure Templates section. The process of creating a template is very easy and clear. Here, you can also edit or delete existing templates. Let's go back to the appointment registration. Having filled in the protocol, press Save Comment. After that, the appointment can be considered completed. As a result, the payment invoice for the services rendered will be automatically generated in the Finance section. Then the cashier, who has access to the Finances section of the patient's record, will be able to accept the payment from the patient. We have described the mechanism of payments in detail in the video tutorial on accepting payments, finances, and cash register management. Registration of appointments in research offers the same methods, except for one thing. Here you can additionally provide a link to a file with CT scan results, for example. Also, in research, you can specify the partner who referred the patient to your clinic. It is important to understand the following. When creating any type of appointment or treatment plan, the specialists specified in the authorization window will have access to edit these files, and no one but them can do it. Accordingly, if a treatment plan is created by a doctor who understands that several specialists will participate in the patient's treatment, then in order for them to be able to make adjustments to this plan, all these specialists must be listed in the authorization window. Next, let's talk about the sections of patient's record that have not yet been mentioned in this tutorial. Treatment map. This section serves as a navigation through the objects of the patient's jaw. If you want to find out which specific treatment was applied to tooth number 37, for example, all you need to do is select it in the dental grid, and the bottom part of the section will display the entire treatment history of this tooth, if any. Also, in this section, you can search the treatment history by the name of the service or the date of its performance. By specifying these parameters, you will see all objects to which this procedure was applied during the specified period of time. Now let's move on to the Patient's Appointments section. This is a kind of archive of all their appointments that were registered in the clinic's schedule. In the table, you can see the date and time of the appointment, the specialists who were scheduled to see this patient, and the statuses of these appointments. Images section. It contains all images and files that were added when registering patients' appointments. Here you can view them, email them to the patient, download them to your computer, as well as open the protocol of the appointment they refer to. The last section we haven't talked about yet is Other Files. It serves as a repository for images and files that are unrelated to specific appointments. Here you can upload test results, files that the patient brought with them after treatment with another specialist, for example, or any other documents. In conclusion of this tutorial, we would like to talk about a few more useful features related to patient records. Let's consider creating patient reminders. After finishing the appointment, the doctor can immediately create a reminder to make another appointment for the patient, for example, for scheduled teeth cleaning, which should be done every 6 months. This way, on the specified day and time, the administrator will see the reminder in the form of a pop-up window and will call the patient to make an appointment for the next procedure. All reminders for the current or upcoming days are recorded in the corresponding tab. Here, the administrator can sort the patients into those who have been called and those who have yet to be called, as well as leave a comment if necessary. Another interesting feature is emailing a file with the entire treatment history to the patient. Like it or not, there are circumstances that force your customers to change the clinic where they undergo treatment. For example, due to relocation. Often, in order to change the attending doctor, patients need their entire medical history. For this case, the system has a feature that, with one click, allows you to collect and email all records of appointments, images, and files saved during the treatment at your clinic to the patient. Now we have probably discussed all the main functions and features available in patient records, which will be used by doctors and their assistants. Thank you for your attention. If you have any difficulties in using the management system, please contact our support team, and we will be happy to help you.